What if I told you being too good could actually destroy your success? Machiavelli revealed a brutal truth most people ignore. Let's be honest. Most of us were raised to believe in the power of goodness. We're told stories about giving, helping others, and being kind. We're made to believe that if we do good things will happen to us. Respect, happiness, and love will come our way. And while this might work in fairy tales, the real world doesn't operate on the same principles. In fact, history is filled with examples of people who got burned trying to be too nice. Think of the philanthropist who gives away all his money only to be swindled by those he trusted. Or the leader who puts everyone's needs before their own, only to be taken advantage of by their followers. So what's the secret truth about being good? What are the hidden costs of being too nice? And how can you use this knowledge to improve your life? Well, according to Niccolò di Nicolai, a renowned Italian philosopher and writer during the Renaissance, it all comes down to strength. He argued that goodness without strength is nothing but weakness in disguise. Let me repeat that for those who didn't catch it. Goodness without strength is nothing but weakness in disguise. In his best-selling book, The Prince, Machiavelli paints a rather bleak picture of human nature. Arguing that people are inherently selfish and self-serving, he suggests that the primary objective of any individual or entity should be the pursuit of power. And those who possess power are justified in using any means necessary to maintain and increase it. Now, before we dive deeper into this controversial topic, allow me to clarify my stance. I am not advocating for a world where everyone becomes ruthless and power-hungry. Rather, I'm encouraging you to adopt a more realistic and pragmatic approach to life. One that acknowledges the darker aspects of human nature and equips you with the tools to navigate them effectively. Back to Machiavelli. Despite his seemingly pessimistic view of humanity, Machiavelli also recognized the importance of cultivating certain qualities to achieve success. One such quality is goodness, or what he referred to as being well regarded by others. However, he insisted that goodness alone was insufficient, and that it must be balanced with strength. Think of it like this. If you're a lone traveler walking through a dangerous forest, it would be foolish to rely solely on your kindness to protect you. You need strength, whether physical or psychological, to defend yourself against potential threats. In the same way, if you're trying to succeed in a competitive or cutthroat industry, relying solely on your niceness won't get you very far. You need to be able to say no to people without feeling guilty, to set boundaries without fear of being ostracized, and to stand up for yourself without resorting to aggression. This is why Machiavelli's counterintuitive truth is so important. To truly be good, you must be willing to be bad when the situation calls for it. This doesn't mean you have to become cruel, manipulative, or dishonest, but it does require you to strike a balance between being generous and protecting your own interests. It's about shifting your mindset from always giving to also knowing when to take, from always saying yes to learning how to say no. It's not easy, I'll admit. Years of societal conditioning have taught us to value kindness above all else. But if you want to get ahead in life, you need to start saying no to people more often. I know it's hard. You've been programmed to believe that being nice will get you rewarded with love, respect, and happiness. But let me tell you something. Being too nice is a form of self-sabotage. When you say yes to everyone and everything, you're essentially setting yourself on fire and hoping that others will notice. They won't. They're too busy looking out for themselves. Start saying no to people and watch what happens. You'll see the respect start to grow, not because you're being a jerk, but because you're finally looking out for yourself. Let me leave you with a story about someone who understood this principle well. Have you ever heard of Mother Teresa? She dedicated her life to helping the sick and poor in India. But she wasn't just a giver, she was also a strong leader and businesswoman. She knew the importance of striking a balance between being generous and protecting her own interests. She once said, if you want to do something good for humanity, you must be strong enough to face opposition and ready to sacrifice everything for your beliefs. Strength doesn't always mean physical or economic power. Sometimes it simply means being willing to stand up for what you believe in, despite the personal cost. So I challenge you to be like Mother Teresa. Be kind, but don't be naive. Be generous, but don't be taken advantage of. Be strong enough to say no when necessary, and brave enough to stand up for yourself. Remember, in a world full of wolves, you can either become a wolf yourself, or risk being eaten alive. Don't be too good to be true. Instead, be real, be strong, and be unapologetically yourself. Oh, and one more thing. Save this video if you've ever felt drained by being too nice. You might want to read the next chapter to learn the secrets to becoming a great leader. See you there.